And thank you for tuning in. It is Friday, August the 24th, 2018. And of course, I'm not sure where you're tuning in tonight, but I am your hostess, Portia Bright, and you are tuning in to the press release. Now, of course, this is your first time tuning in with me tonight. Of course, I am here every Friday at 8 p.m., giving you news and information and exclusive interviews
Right.
every night, every Friday that you need to know about, of course. And hopefully, wherever you're tuning in tonight, you can actually link in with us on Facebook at the press release for you. And I actually update that page pretty much every day with information that you need to know about. You can also head over to Portia Bright TV to find footage of interviews and various things that I've actually done to keep you amused, of course. And there's so many other ways to connect with me. I hope you'll visit PortiaBright.com as on Instagram. And once you do that, of course, you can keep up with me any place you go and get all the information that you need. Now, you see, I have a very special guest for you tonight. However, before I get into all the juiciness of the candid conversations that we're going to have tonight about social justice, I want to tell you about some news. Some things have been taking place. Of course, this has been a very busy month in general. August, a host of things have been taking place, and specifically in the North Carolina General Assembly, where I actually work. We had a special session that was actually called yesterday. So today, there was actually a session held today at 10 o'clock in the North Carolina House of Representatives, as well as in the Senate as well. And so I know this seems very surprising to you, because surprising to everybody, because it happened so quickly. And of course, they did it by law. They are required to get 72 signatures before they can actually call a special session, and they were able to do that. 72 Republicans were able to sign the petition, and a proclamation was issued for there to be a special session today. And you, the topic was. Yes, those constitutional amendments that the judges were that they struck down last week, because they said that the language would be too tricky for voters to actually determine whether this was helpful for us.
Right.
That is back on the table again.
Right.
So now they're dealing with that. They're dealing with, recreation of the State Board of Elections and ethics. So many things going on. I'm actually going to post some information so that you can get updated on all of the bills that were actually brought up today in session. And there will be another session on Monday, because the Senate actually has to take up that bill as well. So if you go over to the press release on Facebook, you'll be able to get updated on those bills and make sure that you contact your representative to let them know how you feel about the situation, because it's crazy. Anyway, stay tuned. Now, without further ado, I want to get to our special guest tonight. That is Dijon Sharpe. That's one of those. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight. Now, for our first-time visitors, of course, tell us your name, where you're from, a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. My name is Dijon Sharpe. I'm from Greenville, North Carolina. I'm 23 years old. I have a son, 2 years old actually. It'll be 3 this November. And I'm just trying to raise awareness out here. Get into it.
Because you're a community activist. Tell us a little bit how you got involved into the community.
Actually, I got involved with the community by way of my cousin, Dijon Sharpe, actually. His campaign actually drew me in more and more. I always been a big fan of, the advocate, I say, of the Black Power movement and all that. But this actually, since it was so close to home, actually drew me in and, got me on that path, 9,000, if you would say.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you mentioned the Dijon Sharpe campaign. Can you actually enlighten us a little bit on that? Because I know that specific story was on like a major network or something.
Yes, ma'am. It was actually on Final Appeal with host Brian Banks, ex-NFL player, and Lonnie Combs. Season 1, Episode 4, Dijon Sharpe. You can go check that out. FinalAppeal.com, Oxygen Channel, or also on YouTube. Yeah, so they came down here. What was it, last year? Yes, ma'am, last year. They came here and did a little filming, to help raise more awareness for Dijon Sharpe and all the Dijon Sharpes that are wrongfully convicted. Brian Banks himself was actually wrongfully convicted, which drove him to make this show, create this show with with his host, Lonnie Combs or whatever. And we just thank them
Right.
for, coming down here and actually letting us be a part of that and just shedding light.
Very powerful story.
Yes, ma'am.
That's actually got a lot of national attention. And I've been following that. That's actually how I actually saw you. And sometimes that's why it's always important. You never know who's watching. That's why it's always important to conduct yourself in a very respectful manner and making sure that you're about your business. And Dijon, you are about that. So this past week, I saw you actually marched to the Pitt County Courthouse on this past Sunday, right?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we actually met up more so than March. We met up and
Okay.
for the press meeting with the news Channel 9 or whatever about just about things going on around here by way of Coalition Against Racism. Thank you to them helping me get my story out along with the other people, my other peers that was there. So we just talking about basically incidents that happened with us and how we seem to feel is growing. It's becoming a trend.
Right.
Targeted.
Now, when you mentioned, you briefly said your story. What specific story are you referring to?
My run in with a severe case of police brutality.
Okay.
With
Now, is this something that has been going on for some time? Because I read the article and it seems like a lot of people are complaining about issues within the Greenville Police. Is something that you feel is gotten to be an issue that's getting out of control, and there needs to be some type of review board? What specifically do you want to see come out of this?
I actually want to see the culprits actually be brought forth and convicted, as well as I would be if I was committing some of these acts. You know, also just like you said, accountability board. Um, I push for we need to push for police in our own communities rather. Get
Right.
vote on that, push for that, get that going, and we can decrease these numbers. It probably won't cease altogether, but we can decrease these numbers and actually do something about it. But first we got to come together as a community. Yes, ma'am.
Now,
So,
do you feel like, with all of the, meetings and things like that, do you feel like your voice is being actually heard?
yeah, it is, but enough is never enough. So I'm going for the gusto. You know,
Right.
you should hear it because it's all real life. It's all reality. It's happening now, and like I said, you can look in the media, and it's becoming a trend now. It's really a
Mm-hmm.
trend. So, um, and people are getting away with it with video and audio and witnesses. So, it's definitely an issue, and it's always been an issue. Always been an issue around here, Pitt County,
Always.
in North Carolina. Um, it's been countless beatings, um, murders from beatings, and just a lot of corruption going on around here, wrong
Right.
convictions and everything.
Who is it that you feel like would actually hold these people accountable? Because if from your perspective, you saying it is the Greenville Police Department, there are some things that are going on inside of the police department. How do you feel that we can clean that up?
To clean it up, to be real, we can't. It don't. It doesn't start with us. We're the community. We can hold them accountable by the people's court. We can do
Mm-hmm.
that, but it has to start from the inside of the departments of the precinct. It has to start from there. They got to clean house. They got to investigate, hold these officers, Tim Greens and all those guys like that, Flannery's and all those. They got to hold those guys accountable. Like I said, they will hold me or you accountable if we was to go do some of these acts. So what's the difference? So
Mm-hmm.
especially when you got audio and video and then in their statement they're lying or, holding out key facts. Come on, man.
Right. Now, you mentioned earlier that is actually a trend, and we see that every day playing out on TV with police brutality and racial profiling and things like that. Do you think the police force needs to maybe have a stricter policy when it comes to the type of police that actually are accepted into the police academy? Do you think that would be an area of maybe starting and fixing some of the problems?
Um, I think actually they should. I say I have a genius plan. They should like insure every gun that the cops own or whatever. I actually heard that from Dick Gregory, the great himself, Dick Gregory. He suggested that, and I think it'll be a great reform for cops that are doing these and also have a history of doing these acts, again, police brutality and just, you know, act being out of whack totally, like for no reason.
Right.
Insure these guns, you insure these guns, that would help decrease. We need to push for that as well in this community around here in Pitt County. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm. Now, while I suggested that, because I hear a lot of times people are talking about the police and things like that, dealing with police brutality and racial profiling, and I feel like in order for there to be some type of change, I feel like it has to start at the top. And at the top, they are the people that basically give them the go and determine who actually becomes a cop. So I feel like there should be some type of stricter guidelines in terms of who is accepted into the academy. And they make a big deal about, people getting some type of cultural training and things like that. Well, the people that are accepted into the academy, they should already know how to actually deal with people in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be with you being black or you being white or someone else being Hispanic. Right. We are all people. It doesn't matter what color we are. We still are people. And so I feel like that would be a very important step for us to take in this whole ordeal, and actually having more people like you, out in the community, talking to people and running for office, getting involved into campaigns and things like that, because those are the people that can make the most impact. Those are the people that can make the change. Those are the people that can make the laws. Those are the people who can decide how much funding is actually given to a department, specifically the police department, when it comes to certain things like that. And so I feel like you're taking a really good step in terms of getting involved, letting your voice be heard, because you shouldn't be muted because you feel a specific way and you want to see some type of change. And which was the most important thing of why I actually invited you on my show tonight, because I feel like you wanted to have that platform where you could actually, speak about some of the things that you're dealing with, because you are a voice for others. I know before we actually had the show, you said your favorite quote was, "You have a voice, you are a voice, and become that voice."
That voice, yes, ma'am.
So that is so awesome. Like, where did you get that from?
Myself. I mean, that's something I stand by. I always say that we're always a voice in any field that we're doing, any field that we take up in, or occupation or whatever. We're always a voice. I feel like it's a thin line between the truth and like the judicial system or whatever. Like if something is if something not sitting right, you should be able to talk to someone and say, look, I don't like this, or I feel this type of way about something. So that's where your voice comes in. So never be scared to speak, or never think you're weird because nobody else is, saying it or doing what you're doing, or see the vision that you see, basically.
Right.
Because your voice counts. Every voice counts. Black, white.
You're so right about that. Dijon, you know what? I watch the news pretty regularly, being that I like to report on the news and everything like that and stuff. And so oftentimes I see younger black men, younger men of color, who are so much more younger. Like it seems as if they're not even at the age of actually finding themselves. They're getting younger and younger. So if one of those young men were actually watching the show tonight, what would you tell them?
Tell them to be great. Be great. The goal is to become the best that you can become, and take care of your parents, and live your life with no boundaries. Don't let someone else's blindness or no willpower or whatever block your path or whatever. Like, do you, basically do yourself, no matter what. Sometimes you got to go through rough patches and rough times to get over that hill and find yourself. So be great.
Now, you actually you've been in the criminal. You are a Phoenix, right? And when I said Phoenix, I mean a felon.
Can you repeat that?
Like you've been involved into the criminal justice system, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What was it about your experience in the criminal justice system that you would like to share with someone else who possibly could be thinking about going and do something silly tonight?
They will get you. They will try their best to get you one way or another. They will try their best. Just just have fun, man. Just have fun. Just have fun.
Right.
You find the situation. Usually there are red flags coming up when a situation is about to get out of hand, or something's about to go on the way that you're not with, or that you shouldn't be around. So when you see those red flags, get out of Dodge, man. For real.
My suggestion is don't ignore them either, Dijon, because
exactly.
When you ignore them, you get in trouble. You be like, Lord Jesus, I knew this was about to happen.
Right.
Look, Dijon, you start popping sweat and everything.
Right.
Oh, no.
It be like that, man. For real.
So recently I've been working on the State Reentry Council Collaborative, which became law actually in 2017. So I've been working on it since about the end of 2017 when they were actually forming the collaborative. And basically what that collaborative is a way to actually find a blueprint to help people who are entering back into society and the criminal justice system, like people who have a criminal background and they're transitioning back into the community. You, like I know, it's very hard once you give it a criminal background because you can't get a job, you can't find a place to live, you can't provide for yourself. So my question to you is, from your experiences, what do you feel like we could use at this particular time that would help change the dynamics for people who are, getting back into the community?
I say, for one, I think we should start like an entrepreneurship program or something, maybe. Yeah. That'd be great. Then you ain't gotta worry, about not getting a call back, or, are they gonna already be biased by the time you come in for your interview, have a biased opinion. I like to push for that. Entrepreneurship, Black economic power, so especially to the Black brothers, to all, but definitely to the Black brothers,
Specifically, we make up the biggest population.
Exactly. So exactly, I think that would be great. Also, just taking the time with them, get them adjusted. Taking that day by day step with them, getting them adjusted. They'll come around. Yes, ma'am. I actually have an older brother who's coming back into society, and he's doing great. So it can be done. Yes, ma'am. He's supposed to be here sitting in with me. I don't know where he at.
Dijon, you gonna make it a family fair, won't you?
Hey, man, my bro. That's my right man.
It's an important conversation to have, and I'm so glad that I can actually bring it to where you are to actually have that conversation, to take people out of their comfort zone, get them to express themselves in a way that we don't got to invoke violence. All we got to do is use our words and our actions to seek change.
Right.
I'm so glad you were here tonight. Like, we got to do this again real soon.
Definitely. Thank you. I will definitely stay in contact. I plan to do this again sometime, so we definitely got to set that up.
Totally. Stay positive, Dijon. Continue to excel. Don't let fear hold you back, nor someone closing the door and telling you no hold you back, because the sky is the limit, and that you can't have. All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Shout out to the People's Press.
And of course, there you have it, another candid conversation about social justice tonight. That was Dijon Sharpe, my special guest tonight. And hopefully you can actually become a special guest on my show. All you have to do is inbox me on one of my social medias. Just DM me. Let me know if you have a story that you want to talk about tonight, whether you're an actor, whether you're an entertainer, teacher, whatever. I want to hear your story. I want to know what's going on out there and give you that platform so that you're able to share your story. And I'll also, of course, be bringing bringing news to you every week. So be on the lookout for that. And you can also head over to my social media pages, of course, specifically on Facebook, the Press Release for You. I will actually be posting some news about some things that I discussed tonight, and hopefully they'll help you before the elections come up when you're making your decisions on who you're going to vote for. There are so many powerful seats coming up that are going to be on the ballot, and so many different issues and things like that that are actually going to be on the ballot. So it's important that you stay on task, that you're informed about the things that are going on, because let me tell you, honey, that are going to be on the ballot that you need to be there for, that you're casting your vote for. And so hopefully I'll see you the next week, same time, same place, but I don't know. I might pop in throughout the week just to give you a little update. There will be a session on Monday, so you can actually head over online to the website at www.ntleg.net, which is the General Assembly's website, to actually find out about bills, information, check on your member, all types of things. And I don't think people know that. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I tell you that. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. See you, fam.